All right, so we're going to get into the top of the thigh. We're going to use the SoRight. We'll use both peaks. We'll use it on its side here. This is also really nice. We'll get into that. And we'll also use the yoga block to help with keeping that other hip propped up. And that can help too, depending on what's going on with your lower back or different ways to get into your quad. So first, we're going to use both peaks, and it's going to look like I'm hitting both peaks at the same time, but I'm not. I'm able to switch my body and get into the top and the bottom part of my thigh. And the main thing that we want to really be aware of this here, is when we're pressing into it, we don't want to press for too long. The quad can be really tight, and there's also nerves, and we have blood vessels coming down here. So if we're pressing for too long in this area, it can feel like it's going numb, which we don't want to happen. But if it feels like it is, just come off, get some blood flow to it, back away from it, do it again the next day, or give yourself a rest for another day and come back to it. But we want to press into it and then bring our heel up to really get into that muscle. And so we'll show that here. So using both peaks is nice because I can get into this lower part of my quad, and then I can also then get into the upper part. And so I'm not pressing both peaks at the same time necessarily. I'm just pressing, I'm shifting my hips here, doing this rocking motion, all right? And so this is what I was talking about, is that since we're off the ground, you might feel a little bit of tension back here in your back. So by putting this on that other hip, it gives you that support to be at the same height as that SoRight. And then this is what I was talking about, pulling that heel into your butt. This is what we want to do. Shifting side to side, pulling that heel in. And so what will happen is that if your quad's really tight and you press into it, it makes it tighter because you're adding compression to it. And so when I start to bring my heel up, it'll be like, ooh, you can only maybe get to here. It's fine. Just breathe into it. Tell your body to relax, get that nervous system to relax. Breathe through your nose, out through your nose, and you'll feel that discomfort start to lessen, and then you can be able to come a little bit closer. A little bit closer. Do a little passes here, and then come off it. Have your leg relaxed and get some blood flow to it. Just shaking it, giving some light little pinches, shaking it here. And that's really not spending too much time on the quad, and then you repeat over onto the other side, all right? Now, doing it with the side part of the SoRight, remember, if this edge feels like it's a little bit too much, we can be able to put a towel over top of it. That'll lessen the aggression, or this aggressive edge. But I actually really like this edge because we can roll side to side. Same thing, we can use that yoga block to really help with the other side of the hip. And then now I can roll side to side. Same thing, pulling my heel to my butt. And then make sure that you're working the whole quad area, not just working one spot. Work all the way up, work all the way down to the kneecap. Just right above the kneecap, same thing, pulling it in. All right, I'm just working my way up and down. So I just did some legs yesterday, and right here's a little tender, so I'm just gonna go back and forth, side to side, trying to get some, oof. There you go. Right there, that's a tender area. So that's something that I'll want to work on the next couple of days, but that's the other thing to know and to think about, is that when I work out, I get sore. So the pressure will be different on the days that you haven't worked out for a little bit. You can be able to handle a little bit more pressure. On the days after you work out, the pressure might be a little bit less than you normally used to. Totally fine. Focus on the breathing. Focus on not pushing for too hard or for too long. And focus on that heel, pulling up and coming back down. That should be really helpful for you. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next video.